Did Iran really launch a missile at Benjamin Netanyahu's office? Or is this the start of a dangerous information war? A shocking claim has just surfaced, shaking the Middle East and putting Israel on high alert. What actually happened behind the headlines, and could this push the region toward full-scale conflict? Stay with us as we break down the truth. Missile attack on Netanyahu's office? Iran's shocking claim explained. In a dramatic escalation that has sent shockwaves across the Middle East and the global political stage, Iran has claimed that a missile strike targeted the office of Benjamin Netanyahu, raising urgent questions about regional stability, the possibility of full-scale war, and the truth behind the headlines. According to statements circulating through Iranian media channels, the alleged strike was presented as a strategic response to mounting tensions between Tehran and Israel. But conflicting reports, limited on-ground verification, and rapidly evolving military narratives have made it difficult to determine what actually happened, leaving analysts scrambling to separate confirmed facts from psychological warfare. The claim itself emerged amid already heightened hostilities, with both nations engaged in indirect confrontations, cyber operations, proxy conflicts, and intelligence maneuvers stretching across multiple borders. And if verified, such a direct strike on the Israeli Prime Minister's office would represent an unprecedented and symbolic escalation, potentially redefining deterrence lines that have long governed the shadow conflict between the two states. However, Israeli officials have been cautious in their public statements, neither fully confirming nor dramatically amplifying the claim, a response that experts interpret as a calculated strategy to avoid granting legitimacy to adversarial narratives while maintaining operational secrecy. Security analysts note that in modern geopolitical conflicts, information itself is a weapon, and announcements of high-profile strikes can serve strategic objectives even before physical damage is independently confirmed, influencing markets, military readiness, diplomatic channels, and public perception worldwide. Intelligence observers are particularly focused on whether this alleged strike was a precision-guided missile, a drone operation, or part of a broader coordinated campaign, as each scenario carries vastly different implications for regional escalation thresholds. At the same time, global powers are closely monitoring developments, understanding that any direct confrontation between Tehran and Jerusalem risks drawing in allies, disrupting energy corridors, destabilizing neighboring countries, and potentially igniting wider confrontation across the Middle East. Political commentators emphasize that symbolism matters deeply in this conflict, and targeting a leader's office, whether successful, intercepted, or merely claimed, sends a powerful psychological message designed to project capability and resolve. Military experts also highlight the role of missile defense systems in Israel, including layered interception technologies that have historically neutralized incoming threats, raising the possibility that even if a projectile was launched, it may have been intercepted before causing structural damage. Yet beyond the tactical debate lies the broader strategic question. Is this a turning point, or another chapter in a long-running shadow war characterized by calibrated escalation and deniable operations? Diplomatic backchannels are reportedly active as regional intermediaries attempt to prevent miscalculation, knowing that in high-tension environments, even rhetorical escalation can spiral into unintended confrontation. The financial markets responded with volatility following the reports, energy prices fluctuating as traders weighed the risk of broader instability, while international leaders called for restraint without assigning definitive blame. Within domestic political arenas, such developments also carry internal implications, as leadership narratives, public confidence, and national security postures become central themes in ongoing policy debates. Historians observing the moment draw parallels to previous flashpoints in the region, where single events, or even disputed claims, altered diplomatic trajectories for years. The digital information age further complicates the situation, as unverified footage, fragmented satellite images, and rapid social media amplification blur the line between confirmed military action and strategic messaging. Defense analysts stress that verification in active conflict zones requires time, independent observation, and often classified intelligence. Assessments unavailable to the public, meaning early headlines should be treated with measured caution. Still, the very possibility of a missile strike on such a high-profile target underscores how volatile the regional balance has become, with both sides demonstrating technological reach and strategic intent. As governments assess response options, they must weigh deterrence credibility against escalation risk, balancing domestic political expectations with international diplomatic consequences. In crisis management terms, communication strategy becomes as critical as military posture, because signaling strength without triggering uncontrollable retaliation demands precision. Meanwhile, civilians across the region remain alert to potential ripple effects, aware that high-level confrontations often translate into broader security alerts, airspace restrictions, and heightened defense readiness. Intelligence communities worldwide are likely analyzing trajectory data, radar, signatures, satellite feeds, and electronic intercepts to determine whether the claim corresponds to physical evidence, and if so, what that indicates about evolving capabilities. The broader geopolitical chessboard also includes global superpowers whose strategic interests intersect in the region, adding another layer of complexity to any potential retaliation calculus. As the story continues to unfold, the central question remains not only whether a missile physically struck near the Prime Minister's office, but what the strategic objective behind the claim truly is: deterrent signaling, domestic political messaging, regional influence projection, or preparation for further escalation. In modern asymmetric conflict, perception can shift alliances, strengthen narratives, and alter strategic positioning as effectively as conventional firepower. Therefore, until verified intelligence emerges, observers must analyze both the physical and informational dimensions of the claim. What is undeniable is that tensions between Tehran and Jerusalem have entered a phase where rhetoric, military posture, and rapid news cycles combine to create an atmosphere of heightened uncertainty. The coming days will likely reveal more concrete assessments, but for now, the alleged missile attack stands as a stark reminder of how fragile regional stability remains, how quickly narratives can reshape geopolitical calculations, and how critical measured leadership will be in preventing a claim, whether symbolic or physical, from escalating into a wider conflict that could reshape the Middle East for years to come.